Hey everyone, welcome to today's presentation. I love that some of you are coming in early. Look at this. We're just on, not even at noon, and you guys are already here. Welcome, Derek, Edgar, Jeff, Joey, Kelly, Lily, Lisa, Marge. I can't keep up with you guys. Do me a favor, help me out. Make sure you guys can hear me. Number one, tell me where you're calling from. Tell me where you're calling from and what you're most excited about learning today. I'd love to hear that from you. You guys, let's make this interactive. I'm going to be asking you some questions. Feel free to answer them. Shoot me some chats. I can do it all. I'll capture the chats. All right, you guys are here for hosting open houses at Convert. I'm going to introduce you to an amazing set of tools that are available to you. And in fact, we don't have time to go over all of the things that we can provide to you that you can have a successful open house. And you all should be able to see my screen. Give me a quick thumbs up in the chat or in the interactions. You guys make sure that you can see my screen right now. Awesome. Thank you for that. Beautiful. So we're talking about the path that you would take to have a successful open house. And we're going to do this pretty much from stem to stern, right? From the beginning of the day that you think of, this is the day and the location that I want to do the open house, all the way to literally being in the back pockets of the people of the open house visitors that leave. Like when they leave, we're going to follow them on their journey. That's what this path is all about. And as I mentioned, what you can see here are all of the systems and tools that we have available that will help you with a successful open house, all integrated into one single system, by the way, so that we can get to a successful open house. So what I'd love to hear from you guys, what would you consider a successful open house? Tell me what would bring you a successful open house. What would make you happy? Say, that when I finished that open house, these are the things I wanted to accomplish. That's what I accomplished. I'd love to hear that from you all that are on the call. I'm getting some responses in here. Buyer and seller leads, right? Right, Maggie, just capturing the people that walk in the door, getting an offer. Heck, Ron, that would be a pretty darn successful open house. Multiple offers. Look at Mark even topped you on that one, Ron. Offers, lenders, like connecting with people. Love that. That's going to get us a successful open house. And really, my thoughts of a successful open house, if you were asking me, is I want to be thought of, number one, as that person's going through their entire journey. So when next open house they visit, because really, where are they going to go after they leave this open house? They're most likely headed to another open house, right? So a successful open house to me is one that we can follow them throughout their journey. They think of us, number one, when they're ready to buy or sell. I'm going to ask, are any of you on the call, Carol or Brenda, Chris, Sherry, have any of you all convinced anybody to buy a house? Like, have you been right? They're going to make the decision on their own, but we want to be thought of as number one. And I'm going to show you guys all the tools that do that. If you all want to know more, by the way, you're going to see in the bottom, the text platform to 59559. If you all want to find out more about what the entire platform does for you, not just for open houses, but for all of your real estate needs, use that call to action text platform to 59559. And in fact, we are going to go over that tool. That's one of the tools that we will be highlighting. It's kind of a bonus in today's session, but if you want to sneak peek into what that does, just text platform to 59559 on your mobile device. All right, put your mobile devices down now. All right, now that you all have done that, we're first going to talk about, here's the date and the time that we want to do the open house. And we have to prepare for that open house. And you all know, did anybody tell me how many steps there are in preparing for an open house? Like all of the things we have to do? I can tell you there's 187 steps or so in a real estate transaction alone. So an open house has a lot of those steps. So what are some of those things that we need to make sure happen? But we need to make sure that the client is notified, right? How many times have we maybe prepared for an open house and forgot to let our clients know? We have to give them a list of activities and a list of things that they're going to have to do prior to that open house, right? And one of them is going to be put all your medications away, hide your valuables, leave, get out of there. Right? A lot of times they don't do that. I think I have a hand up here. And so, Maria, if you could just shoot me that question through the chat, and I will be happy to answer that for you. So we have a lot of things that have to happen on a specific day, right, prior to the open house. So in our open house tool, we can add open house to our transactions. Our platform allows us to add all of our transactions. And one of the things we're going to do is add the date of the open house to that transaction. So now the system knows when the open house is going to happen and all of the things and all of the people that we have to communicate with prior to the open house. When we do this, we are able to set tasks for all of the agents so everybody knows what has to get done. The emails that are sent out to everybody that's involved in the open house knows exactly who has to do it because they received that communication or received that task. Everybody knows what has to get done because in the email or in the text that they receive, there are exact instructions on the next steps and what everyone has to accomplish. And then everybody knows exactly how to do it because it's a consistent thing that we put through the system. So that's just preparing for the open house. We have all these things to do, and we let the system manage all of that for us and make sure that everybody gets the right communications. You all, please let me know if you have any questions throughout the presentation. Vinny, everybody's going to get a copy of this recording, so we will be sure that you get a copy of it for future viewing. If you want to find out more, though, Vinny, about the platform, of course, we'll text platform to 59559. All right, so we have everybody knows exactly what to do prior to the open house. We know when signs have to get set out. The clients know when they have to leave. We know approximately what time to get those cookies baked so we get that nice smell throughout the home, right? All right, now, here's some things that we can do prior to the open house. We're going to proactively look for open house visitors. We're going to do this in a few ways, all right? One of the ways that we're going to do this is through our search listings tool. Now, typically, we don't do a lot of demoing in these sessions, but I am going to walk you through what we call our search listings tool. All right, and our search listings tool allows us to do a few things. One, it allows us for our open house example to put in the open house address, and then the system will bring us up any matches, anybody that has been on our website looking for properties that are like this property, not just looking at this property, looking at properties that are like this property, okay? And for them to, and the property would be about 10% over, 10% under that property's price range. So now I'm finding people that are looking at properties that are like 1327 Watcom Street in Bellingham. To answer your question, Sherry, this webinar is for people who are not using Brivity yet. That's correct. I'm getting them excited about the tools and systems that we have available. More than welcome to stick around if you're a Brivity user. Let anybody know your thoughts. Okay, now that I have all of these matches, I can click on these results. And then what it's going to bring me is every person that has been looking at properties that are like my property in that price range. So now I have a nice list of contacts here. Now, any of these contacts that has a phone number associated with it, because you all noticed in the presentation, I said, hey, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to search listings, and then we're going to call all of those people whose numbers we have that we found in the search listing tool, and we're going to call them. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to click on this little button right here to choose up to 50 at a time. So now I have 50 of those people selected. From here now, I'm going to click on this. Did you all see what happened when I clicked on that all on page button? I'm going to uncheck it. Watch this. I'm going to go all on page. Bip, that call button, boop, automatically shows up. It doesn't make that sound. We had to pay extra for that. But you'll notice this call button hits right here. We can now hit that call button and start our dialing process and letting people know about this open house. This is even before the open house happens. This is a huge opportunity for us to proactively communicate to those that would find interest in a home that's like our home. All right. The third option here, the leads map, is coming from our Brivity Go app. This would be the app that agents use that ties it to the CRM. So it's like having the CRM in your pocket. The leads map, I'm going to show you guys a live, not a live demo, a demo of this. So what we're doing is we're in the leads map and we're standing in our open house. So it shows us exactly where we're sitting. And then we can find anybody that lives in the area of our open house. And when we tap on their name, it's going to bring up their contact record. And then within that contact record, we can call them, text them, email them. Or if you notice just a moment ago, and this will replay, we can actually find out exactly where they live. We can go visit them. We see exactly where they are. I mean, not where they are walking around, of course, we can see where they live. So as long as we have their physical address and they're in our CRM, we can pull up the leads map wherever we are and we can connect with them, let them know we're hosting an open house right near your area. I'd love for you to come visit. You can see what's happening in this particular neighborhood. And then, of course, I would love the opportunity to maybe visit your home for a great valuation or better valuation of what your home might sell for. Huge opportunity to connect. Now, we have found our agent using this for multitudes of reasons, not just open houses. I mean, when they're doing their farming and they're walking around, they're popping this open. This thing has even come in handy during crisis times where people are checking on their sphere. So if they go to an area that has had some devastation, they can maybe find people who live in that area. Isn't that very powerful? So this is great. This is, again, associated, tied to our Brivity Go app. We're going to talk about Brivity Go in a little bit more detail as far as how you would use it in the open house, but I wanted to share with you all the opportunities of finding leads prior to the open house. Okay, so we've all set up for the open house. We've done all our setup stuff. We have proactively connected with some people. So we have an audience now visiting our open house. Well, it's now time to start our marketing. And, y'all, I've been in this business a long time. I've been in this business ever since lead generation was a thing, like when it pretty much first started. I think we've spent way too much of our career being design and marketing experts. How many of you all would agree with that? Give me a thumbs up or raise your hands, right? I mean, that would be a thing that we got right. Thank you very much for those. I mean, it's unreal. And so back in my day, I was making these flyers in Word, right? And you're doing it as you're walking out. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't create any flyers. So we have the ability to create flyers on the fly. And I'm talking about flyers and postcards and social media posts and videos. I can create a video in about 10 seconds for an open house. We might even go through that process. So I'm going to show you guys the opportunities that we have of creating some marketing pieces, okay? So we're going to do this in a tool here that we call Brivity Marketer, all right? We're going to into a tool we call Brivity Marketer. So I'm going to go into Brivity Marketer. And in Brivity Marketer, as you can see, we've got postcard opportunities. If I had some lead time, and I didn't include this in part of my session, if I had some lead time, I would send an open house postcard to all the individuals that are in that area, right? In these postcards, we can sort them by finding people, the right people, not just everybody in that neighborhood, people that are more likely to sell than others. That's the opportunities we have with the postcard. Well, let's dive into the print media. A question came in, Catherine, how much does Brivity cost? Brivity Go, Catherine, is a part of your Brivity platform. So once you get the Brivity platform, you get Brivity Go along with it. It's an app that is tied to Brivity Go. If you want to know how much Brivity costs, just simply text that platform to 59559 and they'll give you all the information you need. All right, so we're going to go into the open house flyers. Right, so I click on that. And I think the thing that takes the most time is choosing which flyer I want to use. And I think in this example, we clicked on single-sided luxury. So now we have the opportunity to search for that address. Okay, we have the opportunity to search for the address or the MLS number. And then once we do that, okay, once we find that address here, like we have here, 1321327 Whatcom. 327 WHAT. See how it went? There we go. Once we choose that, now it's going to sit in our history, and any other media or prices that we have can be found. Mariola, that's all going to depend on your. Mariola is insisting I'll let you all know the price. I'd love to do that, but it all depends on your team size and all of that, your needs. So please just connect with our team so that I can continue here. All right, so I'm going to create the print media now. And now that I've done that, boom, there's the open house piece. It's done for us. It's created, and we could literally download it into a PDF and print it out. It's never been that simple for you all. You could even do some additional edits. Like I could edit this piece, and we have a cool WYSIWYG editor that allows us to add additional information, including changing the photos out and then adding links that can become short links so they're easy to use, or we can use them for a QR code. So now you can have people get more details on the property by scanning the QR code or taking them to any call to action you want. So now your open house flyer becomes a call to action flyer. We have some call to action, but that's call us now. And that, that takes some effort really from people. But if we can drop in these quick links or these QR codes for them to quickly scan and use, well, now you've created a call to action flyer. And all of our pieces that I have in this Brivity marketer tool that I showed you have the ability to add all of those items that I just showed you. I'll quickly create an open house video by clicking on here. And as I mentioned, that home should still be included in my search history like it is here. See, there it is. I'm going to click on that link right there. I'm going to click create video. And now it's created the video with some still images, the default music, and the default text. But as we saw just a moment ago, we have the ability to change any of those things. I can change any of the pictures to MLS photos or photos that I brought in on my own. I can change the text to whatever I want through the inline, the editor here, and then we can add additional music. Bruno, the question is a Place platform linked to Brivity? The answer is yes to that, Bruno. That is correct. It's not. The only reason you see Place here, and I apologize about that, is because I'm just using a Ben Kinney team system. But yes, this is a Place account that I'm using. But what you all are seeing is everything that is incorporated in Brivity. Thank you for that clarification, Bruno. Great question. Love the questions, by the way. You guys are being super interactive. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, so we've got some cool marketing stuff done, right? We've created our marketing pieces. We've maybe even done some postcards, but we definitely have created our flyers. We created some cool social media graphics. What I love about the social media graphics is that they're sized perfectly. When I'm doing social media posts and stuff, and I work really hard on getting that graphic just the way I want, and I upload it, it's too big or it's too small, and I have to try to figure out the right. There's just too much work, too much effort. We need to make this effortless, okay? And that's what this tool does, just makes everything for us. If we want to get complex and add stuff, we can do that. But all the main things are in the right places because they had professionals doing it, not real estate agents playing the parts of a marketing person, right? Yes, this is being recorded, Susie. Thank you very much for being here. All right, so we've got our marketing pieces ready to go, right? We're in the open house. We've done some outside marketing. We've done our call. We've called everybody that we know. We've knocked on some doors and the neighbors. We even dropped off some of those flyers and those door hangers that we created in that marketing tool. Like this is all done in one single system, by the way. Now we're at the open house. Okay. One of the biggest failures we have made in our past as agents hosting open houses is capturing registrations. We get a little bit, a little scared about asking people for registrations. We don't know how to approach them. We think it might turn some people off. Everybody has a different approach of registration. The most important thing is that you capture that registration. Number one thing. Now, some of you will say, well, I have a pad and a paper. I got an Excel spreadsheet and I print out these really pretty, again, how much time have we spent doing that? And so they come in, they write it on their own. They put it in their own handwriting. How are we going to read that? It's not easily verifiable, by the way. It's not easily verifiable. And that pad and paper always ends up underneath our car seat. Give me an amen if that's happened to you guys, right? How many times have we not collected all that information and then not followed up? Not even taken that information out of the car with us. And the next time we find that information is our next open house because we're just simply looking for that clipboard. I mean, I know I'm speaking. Well, I get it. There, yeah, more thumbs are coming out. Yep, that's me. That's me. I totally understand. Hey, Debbie, shoot your question through the questions or chat. It's being recorded. Yes, we are recording this for sure. Okay, so you should see / now open house on the screen. We have the ability for you to create an open house sign-up form right there in Brivity. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I think I've got that open house sign-up form right here. Yep, there it is. Okay. And so it's a really simple process. Once you find the house that you're holding open, we just put / open house at the end of the URL, and we're delivered this really cool open house registration form. Now, we're given an option for registrations, I should say. The one that I have up here right now is a light registration form. The light registration form asks for first name, last name, email address, and phone number. And you'll notice that we have this marked, by the way. And we'll talk about this here in just a moment. But they're going to start getting listing alerts based on this address, based on the city, based on 20% over, 20% under this price range. So they'll start getting delivered listing alerts right away as that's checked. So this open house registration form is a light registration. We can even do a full registration. Looks just like the light registration, but it's asking you for additional information. Heck, we even have a virtual registration where you could host this open house virtually. And you might even do that prior to the open house and you put that on social media. They click on that link, they sign up, and they can view the open house through a Zoom that you walk around, or maybe you have a recording they can watch. The with comments is a light registration with comments or a full registration with comments. We have a couple of options here. If I have this form up and I have my tablet or my laptop sitting on the counter, or I even have a fancy stand where they type in first name, last name, email address, phone number, check in, boop, they've just checked into my open house. It brings up this form again. Next person check in, brings up this form again. Full registration would mean that they have to answer all of those questions that are up there and then check in. That's going to be probably a little bit more difficult to get people to understand. The with comments, this third edition here, with comments, it allows you to add additional comments to this form. So it's a form, looks just like this. It has comments on the bottom. Now, that would mean that you're standing there at the door, entering people in. Hey, this is, first name, boom, boom, boom. This is my last name. This is an email address. This is and what's your phone number? Okay, you're collecting all that. And then you put a comment about that person. You could say something like it was a tall guy in a yellow hat, had a curious kid named George running all around, jumping and swinging in the trees. You're going to remember that person, right? Absolutely. Kim, I'll promise we get this. Oh, Kim is saying She's going to get this to everybody as soon as it's processed. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. So we're capturing that registration. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. One, I need to be hosting the open house. I can't be standing there entering people. Got it. Totally got it. Two, dude, I don't want any grody fingers touching my laptop, or it's not going to be secure where it's at. It might be gone by the time I get to it. I totally understand that too. So here's another option for you all. Aside from these, the light registration, full registration, not aside from, included with these, is we have the opportunity for you to capture the registrations using a QR code. Because as we all know, a QR code just delivers somebody to, it just delivers them to a URL. Well, the URL it will be delivering them to will be this open house registration form. So they get this on their own phone and they fill this out on their own. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable doing that. So now we know we can get people to register. Here's another option. We print this QR code that we just that we create. We print it on a form. All right. And this is what that open house form looks like. So this is the open house sign up form. You all may have seen that when I was in Brivity Marketer here. When I was in Brivity Marketer and I have this open house, the print media, the open house sign-in sheet right there. That's where I created this bad boy. And what we did is we edited this. So you can edit it. Also, you can make some changes because I have these WYSIWYG editing tools. And I added, hey, sign in and get new listings delivered right to you. That's a great call to action. So that way they know that little checkbox. That means they're going to start getting listings right away. Make that call to action. In the example here, we put a little stop sign. Do y'all see the stop sign? Like, stop. No, you can't go any further. Registration's required. And we tape it to the front door. We print it on photo paper. We make it obvious you have to register. We capture that registration. Light registration, full registration, registration with comments, QR code, them doing it themselves, you doing it. I don't care, but capture that information, you all. If you're not capturing the information of your open house visitors, all you've done is hosted the world's crappiest party. That's all you've done, right? There's no food, there's no music, nobody knows anybody. So this allows us to capture, and not only that, that capture now allows us to follow up. So now everybody's, in our system. We found them, we have them there. What's next? What happens next? Well, as I mentioned about Brivity Go, the question came in earlier, how much is Brivity Go, or what does Brivity cost? If y'all notice, those of you that came in late, you'll see at the bottom the text, the word platform to 59559. So I'll give you all a moment to do that if you haven't done that already, to get more information about Brivity. But if you have your Brivity Go application downloaded, now of course you might even have your laptop there with you, right? You might have it there because you're going to do some work while you're in the open house. I hope you guys aren't sitting in the open house watching, the Housewives of Beverly Hills or Sports Center or any of those things. Like, I hope you're not doing that. And you're using that time that you're not getting visitors for more lead generating activities. We're doing some of the things we talked about earlier. But when you have your mobile device, because I know you all will have this, what happens when we get a notification? See, if we have Brivity Go notification set and we're getting new contacts in and we're notified every time a new contact comes in, then our phone's going to buzz, beep, ding, boom, bzz, whatever it does. And now we're notified we just got a new lead. So we'll know that person walking in the door just registered. Boom. We know we've got them. Okay. We're gonna be able to add some notes to their profile in real time. This is Steve and his wife Jan, and they want to move closer to their in-laws who live right down the road. That whatever that information is in real time, we're capturing all of that. We have the ability to send them our mobile app for the consumer. It's called Brivity Home. I'm going to talk about Brivity Home in detail in just a moment, but we can send it to them right there. See, here's the power of that. When they walk in the door and we get that buzz, bing, ding, whatever it is, and we can quickly send them the app. Not, hey, would it be okay if I sent you the app? We send them the app right there. What's going to happen with their phone? Chances are pretty good they have a buzz, bing, ding, or whatever their alert is. They're going to pull their phone out. And now we know, do I have a real contact? Did you get my text? I sent you my home app. Did you get that? I sent it to both your email and your number. This is verifiable. This helps them verify. By the way, in Brivity, in the Brivity CRM itself, we can tell in the CRM if an email address is valid. We validate that email address already. We'll be bringing that into Go as well. But this is validating the information, able to approach people and get confirmation. But the home app helps us get confirmation. And then if we have a list of properties that are like that property we're holding open, we could send them properties that match that criteria. When they register, you all, they're signed up on our website. When they register, they're signed up on our website. So now they start getting delivered anything that we would provide to the website. And now we're able to see that they, in fact, are now visiting our site. Those properties will drive them back to our website. What we're doing is we're putting ourselves in the back pocket of that person because we're now sharing other listings that they may want to go visit with our calls to action. But that might not be enough. See, just having them sending them properties may not be enough. We need to make sure we are literally in their back pockets. We have to totally and completely stay connected to them. All right. And the way we're going to do that is through listing alerts. Remember, I said that they're sent an alert of properties that match that property's criteria, 20% overpriced, 20% underpriced in that city. So now they're getting listings delivered to them that drive them to your website. We are able to track that activity, by the way. We get to see how many times they went to your website, how many properties they visited, what properties they looked at, what time they looked at it, what day they looked at it, how many times they looked at it, what they were wearing when we can't see what they were wearing when they were. I'm just seeing if you guys are still with me here. It gives you all of those details. So we are able to see what a open house visitor now continues to look at. We're going to send them market reports. Now, market reports are really designed and based on a seller. Like helps a seller understand who's selling, who sold, what's pending, what did Jim sell his house for? But if you think about the power of a market report going to a buyer, it makes a buyer so much smarter. If I'm sending them the criteria of that area of the open house and that same open house criteria, 20% over and under, and showing them what's selling, what's sold, what's pending, now they know what's happening in the market and they see you as the expert by providing them that information. We have automated communications happening. They're called auto planes. When an open house visitor comes into our CRM, they're automatically tagged with the tag of open house and the tag of the physical address. Well, we can apply that tag to do all kinds of things. We're going to say, hey, tag, when you come in with that tag, I want this automated messaging to go out based on open house visitors. I want them to get a text 2 hours after they visit. Hey, thank you for visiting my open house. You see any of the properties while you're doing your open house journey, please let me know. I sent you my app. Here's my website. Here's my contact information. I can immediately help you. Let's set up an appointment. These are all automated conversations. Now, the great thing is, as I mentioned a little bit ago, when we have Brivity Go and we've had a conversation with that person, we can go into the contact record, stop that auto plan, because the last thing we want is for them to be sent a message saying, hey, thank you for coming to my open house. Would you like to meet soon? And they're like, dude, we have an appointment set for tomorrow. I hope you know what you're doing. Gives us like complete control. Again, makes it less effortless. And then the other way we're going to stay connected to them is by sending them our home app. The Brivity Home Consumer app is a part of the Brivity platform. So they get to see all of the properties that are available in any area. Plus, they get to see any open houses that are available simply by filtering out open houses. Not only that, but any home that they find that's open, they can add it to their calendar. They can favorite properties by tapping on that little love button. They can see there that just showed you it's adding it to the calendar right now. They can love properties. That's going to show up in their record. We have an affordability calculator. You can see right there. That affordability calculator will allow them to understand that if this is a property that they are willing to afford. And it helps you have a better conversation with them. As we're going through that affordability calculator, it asks a series of questions that sometimes a first-time home buyer wouldn't even be aware of. So we can kind of walk them through that process when we're walking them through the app. Very powerful tool. And now that they have an app, okay, that they know they can find every and any open house, that they can add to their calculator, that we're able to capture, now we can have more conversations with them, connect with them often, and see when their next home buying journey is. See, to me, this is a successful open house because we are going to be hopefully the ones they think of top of mind if and when they decide to buy. And too often or recently, and maybe not so recent now, we were under this, let me know when you're ready. We put ourselves in that position, right? Let me know when you're ready. And instead, I want to say, when you're ready, I'll be there. When you're ready, I'll be there, because we're going to keep showing up. And this is one of the ways that we keep showing up. All right. Last is quickly. So this is what I have in the bottom of each of the slides. This is what Platform to 59559 is based on. It's a Quickly tool. Now, the Quickly tool is a signage that you would put next to your for sale signs. And that signage says, hey, if you want more information, text this to this number. It's always 59559. Everybody gets their own unique Quickly code. What happens is that visitor, the person that does that, is sent a list of all the listings that are in that area, 5 listings that are in that area, plus the listing that they are standing in front of. And then they can get full details on that. It's kind of like the old school flyers. You remember the old school flyers, flyer box that never had any flyers in them, no matter how many times you filled that box? Well, this is almost like standing in front of every listing and grabbing everybody that walks, drives, or bikes by and says, hey, do you want to see more information on this listing? Give me your cell phone number. Now, the way that it's going to help you with your open house is every listing can be customized so that when somebody does this, they can get that same message, plus visit my open house on this day and time. And we can promote that open house to anybody and everybody that walks, drives, or bikes by. We customize that. And if we're using that messaging anywhere else, then they'll still be able to see that open house messaging. Then the day after, or when we're done with the open house, we simply remove that message. Quickly is one of the most powerful tools that we have because it's capturing one of the most important things that someone has in their possession. Their most prized possession, aside from family, is their mobile device. And we're able to capture that real information. I want to thank you all for being a part of today's presentation. I'm going to open it up for questions. Definitely, we're going to get that recording to you all. If you all want to learn more about the platform, price, and all of the other amazing things it does, including some of the things I showed you, please text platform to 59559. Hey, what questions you guys have? Did you learn something new today? Was this helpful? Was this worth your time? Thank you all so much for being a part of today's presentation. Completely awesome. Thank you for being here. Christina, I would imagine you absolutely can. I think the best route would be to connect with the team here. But yeah, I would imagine they wouldn't have to give you a demo to give you the information that you're looking for. Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. If that's the same email address you have tied to your registration, then we probably already have that. If not, thank you for that information. Appreciate it. What are the questions you all have today? All right. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Alice, Andy, Art, Barbara. Yes. Nice job, everybody. The app itself, are you asking about, or the entire program, Ellen? If you're asking about the entire program, Ellen, the best way to find out is to text platform to 59559. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jeremy, Kim, Lillian, Matei. The apps that I did show you today, though, the Brivity Home app and the Brivity Go app are all tied to the platform. How cool is that? Thank you, Steve, Rosie, Patricia, Nancy. Yeah, the Brivity. So Brivity and the app are two separate applications, but they're all tied to the same product. So Brivity and the Brivity Home app is the home application for a consumer that is tied to the Brivity platform. So all of the activities that a consumer would do on Brivity Home is available for us to view in both the Brivity CRM and within Brivity Go. And Brivity Go is the agent app. It's tied to the CRM. So it's just like having Brivity in your back pocket. Ellen, does that answer your question? Thank you for your questions, by the way. Awesome. Vinny, thank you for being here. Sue, you're awesome. Sharon. Mark, thanks for being here. All right. It's been my complete pleasure speaking to you all today. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time. I look forward to hearing from some of you guys after you've texted our platform to 59559. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.